Firefighters are different from most people because when most people are coming out of a fire, firefighters are going in.
It takes lots and lots of firefighters to protect all of the citizens of Columbus. There are more than 30 fire stations in the city. Columbus is a very big city. It is the largest city in the state of Ohio. Every day, many people go to work in the office buildings in downtown Columbus. Being a firefighter in the downtown area can be very difficult. If a fire should break out on one of the top floors of an office building, the firefighters have to get all their equipment up to the scene of the fire before they can begin fighting it. Being a firefighter is a very exciting job. Firefighters do much more than just put out fires.
They also save people from drowning. They help people when they have been injured in car accidents, and they take sick people to the hospital. Being a firefighter can also be a very dangerous job. The flames from the fires are very hot and the smoke can be very thick. That's why firefighters wear special gear to protect them when they go into a fire, like the air tanks on their backs, so that they can breathe clean air once they are inside of the burning building. One of the most important jobs firefighters have is going into burning buildings to rescue people who have been trapped by the fire. Once they are inside, firefighters not only have to put out the fire, they also have to be careful of other hazards within the building. Being a firefighter takes lots of training. It all begins at a special school known as the Fire Academy. Here they train for many weeks to become firefighters. Once at the school, they begin each morning with an inspection. Firefighters must be in top physical condition. Part of their training includes physical exercise.
Another part of their training includes learning first aid. They also spend many hours in the classroom learning a variety of medical and safety information. Firefighters also take part in many hands-on training exercises at the Academy. They learn to climb ladders and a variety of rescue techniques. They also learn how to operate each piece of equipment. During these training sessions, the firefighters must wear all the equipment that they would wear if they were fighting a real fire. They also learn to tie knots.
Firefighters cannot be scared of heights because many times they may have to climb a ladder that may be as high as 100 feet in the air. The firefighters not only learn how to climb up ladders, but they also learn how to climb down ladders while rescuing someone from a burning building. Another part of their training includes defensive driving. Firefighters have to be able to drive the large trucks through all kinds of traffic situations.
They also learn to use an axe to cut a hole in the roof to allow hot air and gases to escape.
The trainees also work side by side with experienced firefighters during the practice fires. This is the most important part of their training. Once they have completed all of their training, they graduate from the academy. From there, they may go to any one of the many fire stations in Columbus. They could go to the north, the south, to the east, to the west, or even to the downtown area, anywhere in Columbus where there is a fire station. Some of the stations even have poles, which are designed so that when the firefighters need to get downstairs quickly, all they have to do is slide down the pole rather than run down the steps. After they are assigned to a station, firefighters still begin each morning with roll call. During roll call, firefighters who have just finished working all day and all night will prepare to go home, while the other firefighters will get ready to start working.
Each morning, the firefighters inspect each piece of equipment to make sure that it is in good working order. All of the medical supplies must be checked daily to make sure there are enough bandages and medicine. Since the fire station, or firehouse as it is sometimes called, is the firefighter's home away from home, all of the same household duties must be done every day at the fire station that are done in any home. This includes cleaning the floors and washing the windows and the dishes. Many people think the cooks are not firefighters, but they are. At some stations, one person does most of the cooking, and at other stations, the firefighters take turns cooking.
The city does not provide the food for the firefighters. Each one pays the cook. He goes to the grocery store and prepares the meal.
If a fire should happen to break out during the middle of a meal, the cook shuts off the stove and joins the other firefighters. Ladder trucks are designed to rescue people from tall buildings. They do not carry water. Instead, they come equipped with long ladders, which can be raised up 100 feet or more in the air. Once they arrive at the fire, the supervisor, who is called the battalion chief, is in charge of putting out the fire. The chief tells the firefighters what to do and makes all of the important decisions concerning the fire or rescue mission. He does not ride in the emergency squad or on the fire engine. The battalion chief has a special red car to drive. Pumpers are hose trucks with pumps which can pump hundreds of gallons of water. The pumpers usually arrive first, and it is their job to put the water on the fire quickly. A fire hose is very heavy when water is being pumped through it. The force of the water is so strong that it requires more than one firefighter to hold the hose. The chief often uses a walkie-talkie to keep in contact with the other members of the fire department. Another important job is that of Fire Chief Duco. He is the highest-ranking member of the fire department. He is responsible for getting new equipment and new fire engines.
Another important job is that of the dispatcher. The dispatcher answers the emergency phone calls and determines what kind of emergency situation it is. The dispatcher finds out where the fire is and if there are any injured people who may need medical attention. One of the most important parts of being a dispatcher is to remain calm. That way, when people who are very upset call 911, the dispatcher can calm them down so they can give the information as clearly as possible.
Different kinds of accidents require different kinds of life-saving equipment and rescue vehicles. The Heavy Rescue Squad carries special equipment that is used for rescuing people who have been in car accidents. One of the most important pieces of equipment is the Jaws of Life. The Jaws of Life is like a giant pair of scissors that can cut the roof off of a car in seconds. The tool is used by firefighters to rescue people who may be hurt and trapped inside the vehicle. Rescue vehicle is the hazardous material truck, which is used to respond to accidents involving chemicals. The firefighters wear special gear which protects them from coming in contact with the dangerous chemicals. If a truck carrying hazardous materials were to be involved in an accident on the highway, the firefighters would help clean up the spill. Once they were finished with the job, the firefighters would have to be cleaned off very carefully so that they do not get contaminated when they take off their suits. At the airport fire station, firefighters operate crash trucks, which are equipped with foam to put out burning airplanes. The hoses from the trucks can shoot lots of water very quickly. These firefighters also wear special gear to protect them from the extreme heat of the fire.
The firefighters are also responsible for maintaining and repairing their equipment. They must also clean each piece of equipment before it can be used again.
Firefighters work all day and all night. They even sleep at the fire station. That way, if there's a fire in the middle of the night, firefighters are able to wake up and get dressed and get on the fire trucks quickly. Squads also have many runs in the middle of the night. Firefighters have to be in good physical condition at all times. The job requires them to carry heavy equipment on their backs. To stay in shape, they often lift weights and do other forms of exercise. In the evening, when their work is done, the firefighters often participate in sports such as volleyball and basketball to keep in good physical condition. Firefighters also have to study maps of the city. That way, the firefighters know exactly where the address is when they receive an emergency call.
The firefighters also practice with their equipment during the day. But firefighters not only put out fires, they also help to prevent them. One of the many ways that they are able to do this is by conducting tours at the fire station and teaching fire safety. They also inspect fire hydrants to make sure they are working properly. Firefighters also inspect all of the stores in Columbus and talk with the owners about fire safety and safety regulations. They inspect everything from smoke alarms and fire extinguishers to cords and electrical outlets to make sure they meet the safety requirements.
In addition to conducting tours, firefighters also travel to schools to teach fire safety. Firefighters stress the importance of staying low during a fire because smoke rises and the air will be near the floor. That's why firefighters tell you to crawl instead of walk out of a fire.
Another thing firefighters teach children is the stop, drop, and roll method. This is used if your clothes catch on fire. It is an easy way to put the fire out.
Firefighters encourage children to practice getting out of the house by conducting a home fire drill. It is important to stay close to the floor and to touch the door to see if it is hot before trying to open the door. If the door is hot and you live in a one-story house, climb out the window and don't go back for anything. Then meet the rest of your family at a designated meeting place.
If you live in a two-story house, go to the window and wave a piece of clothing so the firefighters will be able to see you. If you can get out on the roof, the firefighters will be able to rescue from there.
It is also a good idea to have your parents check the smoke alarms. Firefighters work hard to help others. They put out fires, they teach fire safety rules, and they help people in many different situations. Being a firefighter is a very important job. Firefighters are willing to risk their lives going into a fire to make sure that you get out.
Would you like to be a firefighter?